Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing? Man, I've been trying to get some time to get on the computer and do a Flare or a Songbird update. Been a really busy week. Been a lot of doing stuff with real estate and crypto, but I'm gonna definitely try to do something. You know, if the time allows, I'll try to pop on there and do something today or tomorrow. But I wanted to take a quick second and not financial advice, just talk about how I am going long for the Songbird. SIP 03 is a voting proposal that is out. It should be opening up here shortly for voting, but essentially, if you haven't seen that, if you haven't seen SIP 03, the proposal that's coming out for vote on Songbird, it's essentially getting Songbird ready to fly on its own from a decentralization standpoint. Right now, Songbird is centralized. It's kind of managed and backed solely by the Flare labs and stuff like that. So, but they're getting ready to set it up to where it's really decentralized and anyone can be a validator. They're going to open it up for staking. Which is just a significant opportunity, and I think the utility of the Songbird token is already on the move, obviously with F assets, but it's just going to continue to grow exponentially. So I am long for Songbird token. I've been a big holder of the token already since day one. I had my XRP on 4 different places. I had some on Celsius, Coinbase, a couple different exchanges. I had some in a wallet. So, I for the most part got a good batch of Songbird tokens. I actually got my Songbird tokens on Celsius before I got them on some of the other places. Now haven't gotten my Flare tokens from Celsius yet, but I did get my Songbird tokens, and and then I just bought a bunch in one heavy, but I didn't have a million. Like, in order to be a validator on Songbird, you got to have a million. In order to be a validator on Flare, an infrastructure provider, you got to bond in with a million. A million for Flare is about 20 grand right now. A million for Songbird is about 8 or 9 grand. And I don't expect the price of Songbird to continue to lagish under a penny. I don't expect that at all. So this is not financial advice. I'm just kind of sharing with you my journey. I'm just kind of documenting my journey in this space, and the opportunity that I see in Flare and Songbird are enormous. The potential are enormous. And so I'm super bullish on Flare, of course, and reading the SIP 03 proposal, motivated me to make sure that I had at least a million SGB. Plus the price is ridiculously low right now, being under a penny. I think it's 0.0085 or something like that. Maybe 8.7, maybe 8.9 right now, but it's under a penny, and that's ridiculous. Especially considering the fact that F assets are going to start out on Songbird, and the collateral that's required is not only the USDCX or the CUSDX that the agent has to have, but of course now we as holders of Songbird tokens, we can provide that collateral, and we already know that there's minting fees that have to be paid out in FLR. So the collateral that we're providing should yield us back something as Songbird token holders. There's an awful lot of Songbird tokens that are going to need to be locked up for the F asset rollout on the Songbird network. So I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm also not the dumbest tool in the shed to know that Songbird is a particularly good investment for my portfolio, just based on the fact that there's collateral that has to be locked up in order to mint F assets. I don't know, and I don't have any expectation on the price of Songbird or Flare. I just have common sense sometimes, some days, and today is one of those. This weekend has been one of those. The common sense is SIP '03 is going to put Songbird in a different stratosphere as far as its potential utility, its potential application in flare, its utilization in flare. And I just feel like, I don't even know what it takes to be a validator, but I wish I'd had 1 million flare tokens when I figure it out. So, I just decided to go heavy up and go and get my portfolio to that 1 million in case I wanted to become a validator. Because that proposal says anyone can stake, anyone can be a validator. Well, we know we got to have 50,000 to stake at a minimum. And we know we got to have 1 million if we want to be a validator. And I don't know anything about being a validator, but if I somehow figure it out, I want to make sure that I accumulate those at the price point that I'm getting them at now. Because when the Songbird token was 2 cents, it would have been 20 grand to become a potential validator with 1 million tokens. So I wanted to take advantage of that opportunity now. Flare may be a little bit out of reach in order to quickly accumulate enough to get to 1 million there and become a validator or an infrastructure provider at some point. But Songbird's right there. My thought process is this. With the accumulation, with the ability to continue to gain rewards in terms of flare, in terms of F assets, it's possible to stack enough, compound enough of these tokens in the Flare network and the Flare ecosystem to be a validator, become a validator or an infrastructure provider. There's ongoing inflation that's always going to be there to pay for, accurate price reporting, securing the network. I mean, there's always going to be inflation. So, there's definitely an opportunity, as a validator or an infrastructure provider at some point in time in the future. But that notwithstanding, I could become an F agent. I could become an agent of F assets. Of course, I can always self-mint, but, if I get enough pennies put together, I could choose to become an agent. We know we get fees for minting. We get trailing fees every time those assets are traded. There's trailing fees that Hugo has said. There's trailing fees that the F agents are going to continue to earn. The collateral providers are going to continue to earn. So, my model, my thought process is why am I not accumulating as much as I can, compounding as much as I can, particularly at these prices, in order to be able to put myself in a position to maybe be an F agent. Or maybe be a validator. Flare's not going anywhere. I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. But I'm impressed with what I see Hugo and his team doing. They're executing against their strategic plans. They're building partnerships and strategic alliances with Layer Zero, Google, Anchor. I don't think Flare is going anywhere. I really don't. I think that we may be looking at a potential Google of Web3 or an Apple of Web3 or Microsoft of Web3. The frontier is long to be won. And the things that I see Flare doing, I think, put them in a very precarious position to potentially dominate this space of unlimited potential. And it's early, but so far to me, they seem to be making all the right moves. PhD stuff, just executing and implementing and just making a lot of the right moves, man. So I don't know, I kind of want to be a part of that early rather than late. And I could be wrong, and then it's just a matter of me not investing any money that I can't afford to lose. And, I've done that. Lord knows I have done that. But I'm pretty confident that, you know, that in the future, I think we've got something pretty